Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the one and only. Yeah, this is the Big Time Show podcast that is being seen, heard, duplicated by some. You understand? That is being seen. What's up, Coach Dante? I see you. I'm here. I'm here, you know. For those that may tune in to this in the different various platforms that this podcast is seen on, I don't talk about that too much. I might do that like this. But definitely on Podbean, the original home of the Big Time Show podcast, as well as my second home, which is the Spotlight Sports Network of the YouTube page. I am on there as we speak, live and in color right now. I am on. What's up, Karam? I see you. I'm on my personal YouTube page, which is the Big Time Show YouTube page. I'm of course on Facebook as we speak. On my personal page and the Big Time Show page, live now, of course, on Facebook. Nobody's ever got me from Telegram. I set it up, but ain't nobody never got on there, so I don't know. You say I got an echo. Okay, hold on a second. Nobody's ever got me. See if I got an echo. Yeah, I can see why. It should be down now. Should not have an echo. Now, talk to me, Coach Dante. Did that take care of it real quick? Let me know. I don't like to sound raggedy on my stuff now, so y'all know. I'm sharing right now, just in case you're wondering. I hope that you would share the podcast on tonight as we talk about, obviously, a slight recap of the first preseason game that the Cowboys. What's up? How my Fred on here? I'm going to speak to everybody in a second. I'm going to talk about the Cowboys loss to the Denver Broncos, 17-7. Oh, Lord. Yeah, here we go. Here come the trolls. You know, I ain't going to even say nothing. I got a show to do, son. I ain't got time to play with you. Here we go. All right. I'm sharing right now. Listen. Let me speak to everybody on Podbean. Miss Ty's in the house. Saturday Night Smoke. What's up, brother? On Podbean, what's going on, man? Good to see you and good to hear from you tonight. In a minute. Thank you. Okay, what's up? What's up, Smoke? Good to see you, brother. I'm glad to see you. All right, Karam. One of my best friends in the whole world is on here, even though he a troll. I ain't gonna even call his name, but y'all will figure that out as the show go on. Coach Dante, my frat is on here. What's going on, everybody? Exactly. Let's talk about it tonight. Let's deal with, first of all, now, of course, here's, for the first preseason game. First of all, we're not going to get crazy over preseason, y'all. Now, Cowboy Nation, most of y'all were acting like we just lost the Super Bowl. I mean, good Lord. It's preseason, the first game. Things are not going to be right. We didn't play nobody. We were playing, what's up, King the Building? I see you. We were playing second and third stringers the whole game. Of course, there still is somewhat of an expectation that comes along with that. But our Cowboy fans think we're supposed to win every game, preseason, postseason, everything else. So it just is what it is. And we think we ought to score 35 points and all that kind of stuff, even with backup. And anything that looks different than that, we got a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I saw Tommy on here. Hey, Tommy, I saw you on here too. Okay. Let's go with this. It wasn't all bad. Okay. Let's just stop it. Okay. Let's just stop it. It was not all bad. It was not good either, but it was not all bad. This is from my eyes. Your eyes may have seen something different, and it's all good. Here's what I will say. I'll go individually. I'm not gonna go collectively. Well, I guess I have to, but let me say this. Here's my positives. I like the way Rico Dowd played. Rico was our starting running back for the night. If you remember, Rico was hurt last year. He's good enough to be a backup backup running back in the league. He is. In actuality, he runs the ball more like Ezekiel Elliott than Tony Pollard does. He's a banger, and he has speed, and he had a pretty good game. He ran the ball well. I'm with him. He was good. Overall, y'all, and I'm coming to the obvious negative, but overall, the run blocking game was not that bad. It was not that bad. It really wasn't. It really wasn't. Once you look at the game stats, and you saw that everybody that ran the ball averaged over 4 yards a pop. Our 3 running backs, I mean, what else do you want? Everybody averaged over 4 yards a pop. All right. So let's kill it. Let's kill that. I'm just going over the positives. I'm coming to the negatives in just a second, because there were plenty of them, at least from my standpoint. So I was okay with the running game. That's what with backup linemen, backup running backs, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, Denver did not play their first team guys a lot either, all that kind of stuff. That's first preseason game. It wasn't a bad showing by the running game. It was not. Is that encouraging? I don't know, because see, Kellen Moore, we get happy when we see Dak Prescott out there, and he might throw the ball 40 times. So I'm not going to really hang my hat on that, because it's just the first preseason game. All right, I will say that. Another positive that I saw, I believe that forgive me if I can't pronounce his name right. I'm starting to like him. Look pretty good. Tolbert made a drop, but other than that, he caught the ball well. I hope that politics does not come into play when it comes to Houston. Houston translated what we've heard from training camp. He's translated that at least to the first preseason game. Our wide receiver, Houston, he looks good. I think he can challenge for some serious playing time rather early. I was cool with him. That was pretty good. All right, I'm good with that. On offensive side of the ball, Cooper Rush. What are y'all expecting from a backup quarterback? I mean, he is a backup quarterback for a reason. You would think that he would be a little bit better, but I think it's unfair to judge Cooper Rush because he's playing with a second team, and third team linemen. I mean, come on now. Nobody is going to look good. Nobody's going to look good with second and third team. I see. Okay, Joe, I don't know why that is the case, but I appreciate you finding another way on YouTube. So I don't know why everybody is so. I don't know what your expectations are for Cooper Rush. I don't get that. So I can't really judge him Because if I put Rush with the first team offense, he probably does what he did in Minnesota last year when he won the game. I mean, you give him, better weapons, he can play. Nobody looks good. Her play, Josh Johnson. Yeah, but Josh Johnson, hey Marlon, my other best friends in the world is there. But Josh Johnson's been in the league so long now. I mean, he ought to look all right. That's the only thing I would say about that, Marlon. Josh Johnson, he did look good. Those are my positives offensively. I know I'm missing something else, but right off the top of my head, that's enough. Positives on defense. We played better, of course, stopping the run. Now, that means that we had Gallimore played well, obviously. He started off with the first play. Some of our defensive linemen were strong up against the run. Bohannon played pretty well, which is what we've been asking for. And you stop somebody from running up the middle. We got the speed to get to the outside. That's not a problem. It looked pretty good. Guilford actually looked pretty good. Those were the positives from that. Okay. Defensively, we played pretty good. Offensively, we couldn't really, they really couldn't. It was really an unbalanced game, and we all know the reason why, which I'll get to that in just a second. Defense was on the field a lot, no question about it. But it is what it is. Let's go to the negatives. You already know. I ain't got to say it. Penalties. Hey, that's Coach Price. Marlon, you remember that? That's my Coach Price is on here. I don't know if you know Marlon, Coach Price, but obviously he does know you. The obvious penalty, I had a serious problem. With it. This is the reason why, y'all. 9 of those penalties. Oh, okay, Marlon. Okay. Coach Price, Marlon is one of my best friends in the whole world. What's up, Greg? Known each other for almost over 30 years. I played ball with Marlon, Coach Price. So we go way, way back. The penalties. 9 of those penalties, y'all, were pre-snap penalties. That's unexcusable. That you can't. I get the holding with everybody want to point out Tyler Smith, and the same. He's gonna have a problem this year, and the reason why Tyler Smith is gonna have a problem because he comes in with a reputation. And you remember what he did at Tulsa with he led the country in holding penalties. And he comes in with it. So referees will kind of look at it. One of them, I can't say it was. The other one, he just drove somebody to the ground, man. And they called it on him. So he has a reputation already coming into the league. Refs are going to be looking at him, and don't be surprised, y'all, if he don't have even more penalties coming up. I wouldn't be surprised. But I love his drive. I love the way he come off the ball. He's physical. He's hitting people. That's what you need to see. They got all the way up to September to get the coach that little part out of him. I'm good with Tyler. Y'all make, I ain't for all that. The pre-snap penalties, though. This is a recurring problem that has not been fixed. Whether it's second team, third team, whatever. The first team did it last year. The pre-snap penalties are killing us, man. And we got the same coach. We got the same offensive coordinator. And we got the same problem. See, so at some point, y'all, we're gonna have to start calling things as it really is. We have a problem with the same coach, with the same offensive coordinator, and we're getting the same penalties. And it'll be one thing if I don't care what year it is, if it's the same problem, just a different year, it's something there. I mean, we can't keep acting like and kept saying, well, it's a new year, like Coach McCarthy said, it's a new year. Can't really tie it up the leg. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Because if a culture is set with a problem there and the problem still exists, then you're knocking your head against the wall. And it's the same problem. So it's something there that, we got coaches who's coached the game. Coach Price is here. Marlon Haynes, my friend, is a coach. It's something there that does not have to do with the tape. It's discipline, as some of you were saying in the chat. It's just something there. Pre-snap penalties are a no-no. That's the same thing we had last year. So that is a gigantic negative on offense, obviously, for me. I think we had 17 total. 9 of them were pre-snap penalties. That is ridiculous. Okay. That will kill drives, obviously. That will take points off the board. Obviously, police put you in a position. That is a serious problem for me. I'm quite sure you guys were frustrated with it as well. Defensively, negatives. All of my Nashon Wright fans. No, sir. Now, here's the funny part. Here's the difference between a pretty decent cornerback, and a good cornerback. Here's the funny part. Nashon Wright was not getting beat. He was not. He just wasn't making the play. He was there. I mean, he was there. I mean, if you go back and look at the game, he was right there. He just didn't make the play. And that is the difference between a first-string cornerback or even a number 2 cornerback, even a number 3 cornerback, and a 5th cornerback. Because Nashon Wright, in my opinion, didn't do anything to close the gap. To me, it's going to be hard to break that first 4 anyway. I mean, look, Diggs, Anthony Brown, J. Lou, Kelvin Joseph, and Kelvin Joseph subject to be your number 3. I mean, depending on the formation, the package, he may go outside, somebody move in or whatever. But those are your top 4 cornerbacks on the team. Nashon Wright didn't do anything to close the gap. He's my 5th corner right now. And if you saw the game, you understand why he didn't close the gap. And I'm not saying he's trash. I'm just saying he didn't do anything to close the gap, but they were going at him. And he did not make. He made one play. I do remember that one play when they tried that little comeback route, and Nashon was there. Looked like he picked the ball off. That part, I give him credit for that. But other than that part there, he got cracked all night. They were going at him. Bland was a positive. I forgot about him. He played well. The negatives on that part. So I am going to say this. We're suffering that linebacker, as we already knew. We already knew that. The depth is not good. That's because a lot of our guys are injured already coming into the season. And I'm convinced at this point. Offensively, here's the big thing overall offensively and defensively. Here's my take. Yours may be different, and it's cool. Here's my take. In certain positions, other than obvious quarterback, I know that we don't have the depth that we think we have. Oh, Coach Price, I don't give Luke Gifford credit. I mean, I ain't all right. I'm Coach Price. We ain't depth wise. We ain't right. Gifford should look good. He's been in the system a long time. Well, not Dan Quinn says he's been a Cowboy a while. He's got a few years under his belt. I'll give him credit, Coach. But we can't afford too many injuries in certain spots. We can't. If we have some spots, we're gonna be in real trouble. We are. Oh, one more positive. Jake Ferguson. Love it. And thank you, Stephen White. Let me kill this right quick, y'all. A lot of people kind of split on Josh Ball. Let me tell y'all something. Josh Ball was pretty good in the running game, offensively. He was pretty good. He was knocking people around. I thought Guilford did play, Coach. Am I wrong about that? I see what you said. You said he didn't play. But who said that other guy? I forgot. I thought it was Guilford the whole time. Y'all forgive me for being absent, man. But Josh Ball. Now, this is the reason why y'all can't go off on Ball too much. Because a lot of y'all based what y'all were hearing and seeing based off what he did in the practice. Well, if you're going against Bradley Chubb, come on now. Then he's going against Michael Parsons and D-Law in practice. I mean, come on, y'all. Okay. Come on, y'all. Y'all. Come on now. Come on. I mean, can y'all be fair to my guy? He's a mauler. I particularly like that part. So, again, we had a few. It's the first preseason game. The sky didn't fall in. Overall, I believe we look better than what most people give credit for. I do. We can build on a few things. The penalty part is a, sooner or later we just got to come on and say that we got a real bad. I don't know if the word is culture, but all I know is we have the same problem that is carried over again. And there's got to be something there. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But it's something there. Yeah. It's kind of, is it culture? Is it teaching? Is it, it's something there. Is it Joe Philbin? I'm not saying it is. I'm saying it's something there. Because I have a consistent problem. It's got to be something there. And it's something that we're not seeing necessarily on tape. It's something there. I mean, obviously it's on tape because you get the penalty. I'm just saying something for this. They're doing some type of teaching, some type of emphasis in practice and film study, trying to correct the issue, but it's still there. And it's just not starting. It's been there. So I don't know what that is, and I'm quite sure in a few minutes when I open up the phone line, I'm quite sure that I know Coach Price dying to get in here in just a minute. And maybe Marlon may want to pop in after Coach or whatever. But it's something there that's almost stuck to us, and it's got to be broken because the penalties will take points away, or put you at least in a position to take points away. We've got to do better, and we got to get that. We got to start knocking this down rather quickly. Thank you, Stephen. That sound about right. Stephen says it's a virus, and we got to get the cure because it's just not starting right now. This has been in existence since Coach McCarthy has been the head coach. Matter of fact, if you want to go back, it's been there since Jason Garrett days. Can y'all remember all the pre-snap penalties we used to have? I mean, pre-snap penalties. It's just not good. So, what can you say? Parsons, Cox, LV seems good to me, to be honest. I get that Barr plays off the head a lot. But big time, what are you saying that I'm not? You gave me the starters. They are good. They just didn't play the preseason game. Oh, I'm confident in those four. Okay. Oh, I no doubt about that. I'm good with that. I still got to see Cox though. I know what LV is. If LV is, I ain't too high on LVE, not me. But that's a pretty good foursome. But we ain't seen it yet. We know what Parsons is gonna do. We figure we know what Barr is gonna do. Cox is still a question mark. We know he's fast and all that kind of stuff. That's good. LVE, we know he's gonna get hurt eventually. I mean, come on. That's what those four are good. We are good there. Steve said LV is solid. I don't know about that. LV is injury prone, and I can't blame him when you have the injury that he had. You kind of it's just hard when you start talking about neck issues. So he's not. He had that great first year, but after that, he's been struggling. So overall, we look better than what people are giving us credit for. I don't even want to talk about Ben DiNucci. Good Lord. I mean, he looks better than he was. Let me just say that. He looks better than what he was. I'll give it to Ben DiNucci. He looked better than he did last year. I'll give him that. Yes, okay. Oh, it's no question. No question about that. We're ready for that. We're ready for that. I'll give you that. The linebacker group is fine. I just didn't see him for the first preseason game. Defense looked well overall. All right. So I'm not trying to kill our team. It's a preseason game. It's the first game of the year. Nothing to go completely cuckoo over. However, that area of the penalties, especially pre-snap penalties, that is horrible. It's horrible. And it's been consistent with us. And that's the part where we have to we got to get that better quickly. All right. I know this is gonna be a short one for me tonight. Let me hear your thoughts. I see most of them in here, as I said before. Let me hear your thoughts now. You see the call-in line there, and Podbean is open. Ain't gonna be too long with it tonight. It's wide open. Let me see. As I already knew, Coach Marv is on the way. Let's see here. All right. Let's see if you're in here, Coach.
Hold on, Big Show.
Okay, I hear you, Coach.
How you doing, brother?
And
me and Marlon played at North State together.
Oh, wow. Small world.
That's my spotting brother. Yeah, that's my spotting brother. I told him, I hope he's seen the chat. I told him, inbox me, man, his number, man. So I need to Tennessee. That's what he's called, Tennessee.
Oh yeah. Marlon's here. He'll get with you because y'all in my little chat group together, so it won't be hard to hook up. Talk to me. Turn your phone down, Coach, a little bit.
Huh?
Turn your phone down. I thought I hear a little echo. I know that's not me. Here go Freddie Henderson, another Cowboy hater coming in. I've already spoke on the positives, Freddie. You know, you just here come the haters. Here come the trolls. What's up, Freddie? That's my partner there. What's up, Coach? Talk to me. Talk to me, Coach.
Is that better, Big Show?
You good? Come on.
Okay. I got 5 points I want to unload.
5? 5?
Yeah. And the penalty is gonna be last. That's the big elephant in the room. I done watched this game. This will be my 4th time watching the game. You know, watched it the first time. Was doing a live show with Boss Cowboy during the second half and after the game, and we talked about some things on his show.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to do the offensive line. I've been try to break down different groups so I can just focus on different groups because there's no all 22 out there. So, you know, you just do it the old school way. Let's do offensive line first. Tyler Smith is the truth.
Yeah.
I don't see why. And I'm not saying McGovern is bad, but I just don't see why we it's time to go ahead and just say, okay, McGovern, you the swing guard. Tyler Smith, you in there at left guard, and let's go to work with that. A lot of great things that he did. 2 holding calls. One wasn't a holding call. This guy just fell down in front of me. He just mauled him like he always do. The second one was a holding call. Ball, good in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of work that he needs to do, but you got to understand, last year was a totally red shirt year for him. Mm-hmm. This is his first game under the lights. I think he did well. I would want him to do a little bit better in the passing game, a little bit more a little bit more in the power when he got bull rushed. But he's a work in progress. But I'm not gonna say he was totally bad. Like I said, first game he should get better. The second time out. Center, still some problems there with keeping staying on blocks with the center. I think the second string center did a little bit better. But my star on the offensive line, and nobody's talking about this guy because this guy, you know, we focus on certain people in training camp because they talk about him. But number 76, Collins, the guy that came in for Steele, played 3 quarters. I graded him about a 95. Mm-hmm. He had 1 holding call, and that was questionable. He's a mauler. Mm-hmm. So I had to go do some research on him because I hadn't looked at him, didn't know where he was from. And then when my research came up and I see what I was looking at, this guy got some potential because this guy came out of TCU in 2018. He was going to be the swing tackle for the Minnesota Vikings. Mm-hmm. At that time, so he blew out the bicep and he got hurt again with a leg injury. The next year he was going out for offensive guard, but he played in some games and did very productive. Came out of college, ran a 4.840 and bench pressing 35 times with 225. So
strong.
This guy's strong, and what I was seeing, I could see the traits of that. But the next game is going to be the proving ground because if I see it again in 2 games back to back, I think we got some here that I think the Cowboys been stashing last year in their practice squad. Mm-hmm. And if you don't get the acclaim, people don't look at you. So they hadn't been talking about him and putting him out there because I didn't think they didn't want people to snatch him. Mm-hmm. So he was the start of my offensive line play, him and Tyler Smith. I did my work on the defensive backs. Couldn't see the defensive backs so much, but as you was right about Nashawn Wright, he was there. What I loved about him, and as well as I loved about all the defensive backs, you want to see great tackling, especially early when you hadn't been tackling all. And both of those defensive backs was really tackling. You know, people don't talk about it. They talk about the pass plays, but there was a 3rd down and 3. Nashawn was playing off coverage. The guy caught the ball in front of him and didn't get a yard. Mm-hmm. These are the type of things you look at defensive back. A lot of people look at coverage, but to stop those little small plays, that's important because a lot of times they give up that 1st down. Mm-hmm. The second person on the defensive back, and there's been word about this guy. Even Jordan Lewis had an interview a couple of weeks ago about this guy, and he said this guy is going to be the guy that's going to help us the most in our secondary as a rookie, and that's Deron Bland. Mm-hmm. And I watched him the whole game. He played snaps outside. He played in slot. This kid is good.
He is.
And I see why Jay Luke's saying that, because I believe this guy is a possibility. Jay Luke going to have to really be on his P's and Q's. Mm-hmm. Really. And when Jay Luke says this, you know, when he's talking about a rookie and you see the guy playing your position, you say these things. This guy has got speed, got long speed, and he's very physical. Didn't miss no tackles. Mm-hmm. Very good performance. Looking for him to improve, but they've been high on him, and he's been doing well. Another great pick by Will McClay.
Yep. Physical.
One, linebackers. Now, I totally disagree. I just did my fan work on linebackers. Outstanding job by the linebackers. Mm-hmm. Gifford didn't play. It was all rookies and free agent picks out there. The guy they got from Texas, he started the game with number 50. With number 50, the draft pick. Story Jackson played a lot. Story Jackson stats in this game. He's a tackling machine.
Yeah.
6 tackles, two solo tackles, two tackles for loss. So, you know, you're talking about, when we talk about LVE, had 1 tackle for loss his whole year last year. This guy come out in his first game and 2 tackles for loss. You watch the game, you watch it. If you watch the film, you see these guys attacking the line of scrimmage, making tackles at the line of scrimmage. In the run game, attacking gaps. I think we are very, I know by watching this and watching it over and watching it closer at the linebacker position, Dan Quinn is just salivating at the young linebackers, and then he got some veteran linebackers. I don't understand why Luke Gifford didn't play in this game, because you can't tell me by his play that he's a lock.
No.
He's not one of those guys that, well, we're going to leave our locks out the game, because if I was Luke Gifford and I watched this game, and I know he watched it as a defensive player,
you better get on the field.
I would feel very, very uneasy.
You better get on the field.
My job.
Yeah. You better show up.
Because these guys are more athletic. They're aggressive. Story had a couple of good, solid hits on pass. Slants came in, and he great hits. He's the hitter. Sams came in the game, number 53, the guy that had from the practice squad from New England. In the second half, I think he had about 6-7 tackles, and he's a hitter. And you watch the game, you watch it carefully, and this is something, sometimes we watch the game, we watch it with the commentators, and if they don't say something, we don't observe it. That's why when you watch film, you can see certain things when you focus in on certain things.
Yeah.
These guys are hitters. I like the way they tackle. Very good tackling performance. I'm not even going to talk about the defensive line. I think all the defensive line did well. We got a multitude of defensive line. It's going to be the only person that did do as well was Carlos Watson. Mm-hmm. Didn't play as aggressive as I want him to play. I think he's on the boat. I think he's on the boat to be cut. Because I don't think he played better than Tristan Hill. Tristan Hill had a couple of pressures plus a tackle for loss. So anytime you have defensive linemen have tackles for loss, that's a pretty good play. So this performance, like I said, player-wise, I think it was a very good showing. It's something you have to dig into and look at. Sometimes the score is not indicative of what's going on. Plus, I think we had a Denver telecast on the game, so they gave a lot of point of view from the Denver side and not from the Cowboy side. But I think it was a very good thing for the first game. But like I said, they didn't hit too much. So this is their first time under the lights. We should see, hopefully we see improvement next week. So I think we'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the elephant in the room, penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Mike McCarthy started out his first press conference of the training camp and said we are a disciplined, gritty, fundamental football team. I had some questions about what he said because you can't talk about what your team is before training camp starts. Only thing you can talk about what you were last year, and we saw last year in some cases they wasn't gritty, they wasn't fundamentally sound in some cases, and they didn't show discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So he should have said we're gonna try to formulate that type of team. Pre-snap penalties of people out there. That's just concentration and being disciplined.
Yep.
Jumping off sides, illegal motion, illegal formations. Those things have nothing to do with nothing but your own concentration.
Yeah.
Because you've been doing lining up in positions. You've been knowing about pre-snap, not moving for the ball snap, getting into formations since you've been playing Pop Warner football.
Yes, sir.
So that is unacceptable when you talk about 9 of the pre-snap penalties. If you take, they had 17 penalties. If we don't have any pre-snap penalties, we had 8 penalties. You say, okay, that's a lot of penalties. But I just told you there's probably 3 or 4 of those penalties. Roughing the passer penalties was questionable. You know what I mean? What you want the guy to do? You wrapping the guy up. They talking about how you fell on the guy.
Yeah.
The holding call I told you about with Tyler Smith, one of those was very questionable. You're looking at 5 penalties, and there may be some other ones that was physical penalties that you have some gray area there. But pre-snap penalties are drive killers and drive, and on defense, there's thin drives.
Yeah.
One of the pre-snap penalties cost us 3 points by jumping offside on the field goal.
Mm-hmm.
One of the pre-snap penalties cost us to go from a 4th down and 1 to a 4th down and 6, and then we turn the ball over. Pre-snap penalties are unacceptable with any team, especially at this level of play.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what Mike McCarthy has to straighten out, because those things are just concentration blunders. And when you have that, it becomes contagious.
Coach,
and you start to let it happen, it continues to happen. And you got to snip it in the bud early. And you should have done it at the beginning of training camp. And what I would have done at the beginning of training camp,
there we go.
I don't care if it was Zach Martin, Tyron Smith. I don't care if Dak Prescott did a move. The first day it happened, in the first day of training camp, or the first day of OTAs, I would have kicked him out of practice.
Okay. That's what I was just about to ask you. Because you're a coach, then you already jumped ahead. That's what I want to know. Well, how do you fix this issue that's been in our organization? I know for at least 2 to 3 years. Pre-snap penalty. How do you coach that out? Help the people here. Marlon Haynes, you next. I just want to know, what do you do to try to get this thing under control?
Well, one of the ways you can do it is by fear.
Yeah.
Marlon can tell you that in Norfolk State. We had coaches that you was scared to jump off sides because of the fear factor. But you got grown men here. So what you do is you have to set the president with the most experienced guy early, and you have to show so much of that that throwing him out of practice, you say, wow, we trying to get stuff done. And he just jumped off side and he threw him out of practice, because that sets a tone that says that's not acceptable. But if you don't do that early and you allow it to keep happening, you just like, get mad, but you brush it off and you don't go to nothing extreme. You let all the horses out the barn. And when all the horses get out the barn, it's hard to rein them all in. So you really have to check that first horse that goes across, that does that and jumps outside and get out the barn. That's the one you got to check, because you got to set the example for everybody else that this is not going to happen. But there's a lot of things in McCarthy's tenure that may lend to him not having the discipline over his players like he should. I mentioned earlier today, this discipline thing started when you let players speak against your defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
That I don't care and I'm not saying the defensive coordinator should have been here. I'm not saying he was good, but you start having guys speak out publicly. That's a black eye of a discipline and a lack of respect of the head coach, because regardless of what you talk to me, you don't talk to nobody in the media about my assistant head coach, my coordinator.
Yeah.
So when you do these type things and you allow these type things, now when you speak about any other thing that may be little, sometimes you're not heard or you just being brushed off. This is a culture where the head coach of the football team has to be the law and rule, and this is an organizational type thing, because you can't wait for the owner to get up there and talk about we need to stop these things.
Yeah.
If the coach says that we need to stop these things, then you got to get out of practice, or I want to get rid of somebody because they're undisciplined. The players have to feel that the head coach on the field inside the white line is the law. So this is going to hurt. But I don't want people to feel alarmed, because I think with all of us talking about this and putting emphasis on it, it's very early in the season.
Extremely.
So he can get this control, but it's going to be a little harder now because of the fact that he has some it's a precedent set here, and this went on from last year into this year, and it seems like the officials now are considering us a penalized team.
Yeah.
Now the Raiders been doing that for years. Raiders in the 70s. Matter of fact, the Raiders were the most penalized team last year, next to us, and they've been probably the most penalized team for years. When they had the great Raider teams, they were penalized. But their coaching staff said if you get penalties, there wasn't no pre-snap. There wasn't no pre-snap penalties. They got penalties because they were just a mauling physical team, and they say, "Hey, we'll play through that because we'll eventually make you start refereeing the way we play." So, but pre-snap penalties, people, that is not. I could take a holding call because a guy learning. I could take that.
Yeah.
But I can't take a guy jumping off sides. I can't take that you're not lining up properly. I can't take that the tight end is on the ball and the receiver's on the ball and the tight end's on his side and he's on the ball, and that's a illegal formation. I can't take illegal motion. Those things, jumping off sides defensively. I just can't take those type of penalties because those are just lack of concentration and the detail.
I appreciate
that
you.
was my Big Show. That was my observant. Big Show, if you go back and look at it, I wanted to make sure we understand the linebackers played well. I can't understand why Luke Gifford is going to still be on this team, but I know he's probably will be. I have never seen. I don't think Luke Gifford, when he played in preseason, he had over 6 tackles. Yeah. So we got guys coming in here the first time out the box.
Yeah.
And I hope Cowboy fans don't look for splash plays when you're looking to see a guy's performance. Because if you're looking for splash plays, you might be looking a long time. But the consistent play doing what they need to do, being physical. And sometimes the commentators are not going to call everything that they do well, but when you observe it, you can see some good things doing well, man. But like I said, I always say, I appreciate your show. I appreciate the platform that you give everybody to change the narrative that the big shows out there, the big letter networks be trying to put out there. And shows like yours change the narrative or get to discuss the narrative so we can get in the right way. And I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, Coach Marv. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. That was Coach Marv, as usual, who has plenty of golden nuggets that we can all glean from on that. I was listening to him, and then I want to ask y'all this, and this really wasn't in my notes or anything like that, but you know, it's hard to change stuff when you don't have no authority. And that's what I want to kind of tag in on that. I just don't think that Coach McCarthy really has. I mean, does he really have authority? I mean, what does he have authority over? And I'm not trying to go ahead and say, we should fire him and all that kind of stuff. But I've already said that when it comes to him, if we get off to a slow start this year, you know what I've said, and it sounds crazy. I've said that he won't make it to the bye week because that somebody's gonna start getting the blame. It's just gonna be too much fire on McCarthy, Dak. Those will be the main two. You'll hear the narrative. They'll say Coach McCarthy just they'll start saying what I'm saying. They're saying, well, he really had no authority. He can't implement change. You're gonna hear the narrative about Dak, of course, because they're already saying it. They're gonna say, he got $40 million and he got to be able to carry a team, but he can't carry the team. Somebody gonna get the blame. Oh, ain't no question about that. If we get off to a slow start, Dan Quinn, who the players love, is already on this team. And I'm telling y'all, I've been saying it for a while. If the Cowboys get off to a slow start, there's going to be so much heat that is going to be a change. I just feel like it already. Everybody talking about Sean Payton, but I just can't, Sean Payton, number one, is going to want way too much power, stuff that Jerry Jones won't give up. Y'all forgive my screen. I don't know what is going on with it, but y'all just have to bear with it. I ain't got time to fix it right now, so y'all, I apologize. I'll do better next time. But I just don't know how much authority he really has. The penalty part. What Coach McCarthy, what Coach Marv said earlier about putting fear into them. That works. That does work. However, when you got a bunch of professional ball players, that these young guys, they're different now. The Jimmy Johnson approach may not work with today's player. You understand what I'm saying? Not that the system don't work. It's just a different time. And these players, you just can't, everybody, I ain't calling them soft, but they're a little bit more sensitive these days. Can I say it like that? I'm not saying, Coach Price said Dan Quinn would not take this job. I think that he would take the interim job, Coach. I don't think he would take the head coaching job for next year. I'm just saying if something was to happen to McCarthy this year, I believe Dan Quinn would take over the job for just the rest of the year. That's what I was saying. I'm not talking about next year's coach and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't saying that. Now, I don't know how much authority he really got. because he can't put his fingerprint on the defense. He has nothing to do with the defense. We all know Quinn has that lock, stock, and barrel. So forget that. All right. Then what's up, Jane? Offensively, it was him that said that whoever installs plays calls the plays. He said that last year. So that man Kellen Moore has total control of the offense. He does not do anything on special teams. Bones got that. So in the three most phases of the game, the three phases of football, defense, offense, special teams, where is he really putting his handprint on? I mean, and of course I'm gonna be fair because we don't get to see him in practice. We don't get to see him how he interacts with the team. We that part is not filmed. But I'm just going off what I think is safe to say. He has nothing to do with the defense. He has nothing to do with special teams. He has nothing to do with play calling. That's Kellen Moore's job. Whoever installs the plays calls the plays. That's what he said. So, I mean, what does he do other than saying, okay, it's 4th and 1? He'll say, okay, we're going for it. We're going for it. But you ain't calling the play. You just say, okay, you do a CEO type decision. We're going for it. Even can we go a block punt here? Can we go after him on special teams here and try to block the punt? I don't know if they come from Bones or him. I don't know. Maybe position on the field. Maybe he'll say, hey, let's go for a block punt here. Let's try it. Maybe he does that. I don't know. I know he ain't saying nothing on defense. There ain't no question about that. So does he really have the authority as a head coach really should? Or is he just like a guy like me, just got a headphones on? I'm not saying he doesn't have any input. You'd be crazy not to say that. I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know what authority he really has. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't see it. I don't see his imprint. Most head coaches have imprint on their team. Most coaches have imprint on it. You can't tell me the imprint that Coach McCarthy has on this team. When I say Bill Belichick, okay, you know he got his hand. His imprint is on their defense. See what I'm saying? You know that. You know when I say Andy Reid, you know Andy Reid, his handprint is on that offense. You see what I'm saying? You see the difference? When I say Coach Mike McCarthy, it's like, what do you do? And so then we get into this slight puppet syndrome that we have that that's been on the Cowboys organization for a while. I'm trying to figure out what does he do. I don't know. So if he doesn't have the imprint, the imprint, then when it comes to the penalty part, what really does I don't know what is he doing. I don't know if it's Coach Philman who has more of an imprint. I just don't know. I just don't know. So he has no authority. Not to me. Not to make that kind of imprint that Coach Price was talking about. That Coach Marv was talking about, that you can coach it out, you can put fear into the, I hate to go back, but I'm just saying Jimmy Johnson put fear in these guys. You can see his imprint on the team. I mean, the list of coaches go on and on and on. You know what they brought to the table. His best attribute was his play calling. That was Mike McCarthy's best attribute. He don't even get to do that here. So if you take away his best attribute, what good is he? His best attribute as a coach was his play calling. He got a ring on his finger, being an offensive coordinator that won a Super Bowl, and he was a head coach. He was the play caller. That is his best attribute. Being a CEO is not his best attribute. He does not get to call plays here. So what is he good for? That's all I'm saying. I don't get it. All right. So I'm sorry. Calling line is open again. Let's hear somebody else. Marlon, are you on here? If you're on here, I'd love for you to call in, get your coaching perspective as well. Anybody can call in real quick. It's right there.
+1-803-960-3584. Call from.
All right. Who is this? Is this Coach Marv again?
Yo. One quick nugget, Big Chill. One quick nugget to hone in on what you're talking about this year. And I hate to go back myself, but Dallas is a different breed with all the mega attention, all the showboating that goes on here. It's the biggest stage in NFL. So you have to really rein players in Dallas and have the respect in Dallas because they got so many other distractions. But I'm going to go back to two coaches. Jimmy Johnson. Everybody remember the famous thing about the asthma player, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody remember when the training camp he came and the guy said he got asthma, he can't run. He threw him off the field, said he go over to the asthma field, and he was gone. Mm-hmm. Everybody remember the John Roper thing when John Roper fell asleep. They got him as in a trade. Though he was, probably going to be a very good player for them. He fell asleep in a meeting. He was gone. Mm-hmm. Everybody remember. People don't remember that the Cowboys would win the game the first year they would win the Super Bowl, and they were making their Super Bowl run, and they were blowing the team out, and the second string running back came in the game because Emmett and everybody was out because the game was out of reach, and they gave him the ball and he fumbled. Mm-hmm. Jimmy cut him the next day. Yeah. And they were asking why he cut the guy because he made this one fumble. He said, I didn't want our rest of our players to think that was acceptable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't think that put fear in everybody? Yeah. Give you an example of Bill Parcells. Mm-hmm. Who Bill Parcells rode the hardest when he got to Dallas when he was trying to build them back to a playoff team? You know who that player was?
Romo, right?
Larry Allen.
Larry Allen, that's right. Larry, yeah, definitely.
He was on Larry's case. He kicked Larry out of practices. He told Larry Allen he said he was trying to get the juice out of Larry, but he rolled Larry hard. So what that does is that makes everybody else pay attention to detail and understand that if you ride the best players, that you are able to be able to perform.
Yeah.
These are the things you have to do. You have to set those examples early because that's the way you get the attention of everybody in the room.
Yeah.
And like I said, the first person to jump offside, the first person who got a penalty, if you preach about not having penalties, if you come in this practice that you got against San Diego, you got two practices with San Diego, I'm quite sure the officials are going to be there. Mm-hmm. And I will tell the officials be very good in all your calls. When we go against ones and they go against our ones and our ones go against theirs, if anybody jump off sides, I don't care if it's Michael Parsons. I'm going to get on him and he got to go.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make sure that everybody knows that that's not acceptable. Now, am I putting Michael Parsons out of a real game
if I'm going to be, I'm not crazy to get rid of Mike Parsons in the real game or cut him from this team, but I got to make sure that when I tell my team I don't want pre-snap penalties or crazy penalties, that means everybody. And if I start with the top of the head, the rest of the body will follow.
Love it. Appreciate you,
Just
Coach.
as plain and simple as that.
Love it, Coach.
All right, brother.
Appreciate you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I believe that is just the God's honest truth. But the only thing that I would say about that, as far as what Coach was talking about, Mark McCarthy don't have that type of gumption. Let me put it that way. He just don't. That's not him. I think that's obvious. So that will work. He's just not that. He don't present himself. I'm not saying he's weak. He just don't present himself as that type of guy. You know, like a Mike Tomlin type guy. Mike Tomlin has it. Mike Tomlin has that type of persona, if you let me say it like that. I believe he does. But I really got stuck on there because it make you wonder, you know, I think the term a figurehead kind of applies here. You know, I just don't know the effect really, or the imprint that he really has. Now, I'm not saying he's trash. I'm not saying he don't know what he's doing. I'm not even saying he's not a bad coach, because, ladies and gentlemen, look, we won 12 games last year. It's hard to win 12 games in this league. It's hard. It's hard to get double-digit wins in this league. McCarthy did that. The COVID year, it was just rough. We didn't have our quarterback as well. So, the first year, I can't really judge him off that. I really can't. When he got his quarterback back, we put 12 wins up. Didn't win nothing, but, other than the division, but, 12 wins is 12 wins. So it's not like he don't know what he's doing. I'm just saying his impact is limited. Can we just say it like that? His real impact is limited.
+1.
I got somebody else calling. Let's see who this is.
Call from
Eastside.
Who is this? Hey, somebody from Texas.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up? Hope this is a Cowboy fan. I don't know who it is, but when you say Texas.
Oh, nah, this ain't no Cowboy fan. This a realist.
This a realist.
This Eastside Harold, man.
Eastside
I just
Harold.
had to christen you. Yeah.
What's up,
yeah, man. Do you still feel good about your team after what you saw? I mean, tell me, you feel that star, that silver and blue?
Say it again now.
You still feel good about what you saw? That star, that silver and blue. You still feel like they're putting a good product out there on the field?
Oh well, I mean, we don't judge preseason. Now, if you ask me that question when week 1, week 2, I have a different answer for you. But right now, we're not.
I think you already know what's gonna happen week 1.
With you talking about with Tampa? Oh, we're gonna win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna win that game.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we're gonna win that game. We're gonna win that game. Oh yeah.
Oh, you got some Casamigos over there or something?
No. We're gonna win that game. We're gonna hit Brady. Especially since his linemen are hurt, gone. Center and both guards are gone. He gonna get pressure all day long. We're gonna knock him off his spot. And we all know what Brady is when he gets knocked off his spot. That's the game plan. I can already tell you that already. We're gonna win.
Yeah.
We're gonna win.
Yeah, that's the game plan, but sometimes things don't work out like that.
Well,
it sounds good.
It's obvious.
It sounds real good.
It does. It's like what Mike Tyson said. Everybody has a plan till they get hit in the mouth. I agree with you on that. I just feel real confident on that one. But Eastside, you first of all, let's get this straight. Since you want to come on and you want to be a Cowboy hater because you definitely want to.
Oh no.
First of all,
being disrespectful, sir. Let's keep it respectful.
Okay, yeah, okay. Respectfully asking, then, what is your team?
Oh, the Houston MF and Texans. Yeah, it's Houston. It's Houston every day over here.
Time out. Hold up. One more time for the audience. Just time out.
Houston Texans.
You done came on
Texans,
my show.
Rockets, Astros. Whatever Houston is, that's me. I'm not these dudes from Houston that claim Dallas.
Wait, whoa. Just let me get just for clarity. You done came on my show and you're claiming a team that ain't never done nothing. Is that what you doing? The Houston Texans? Really? That's but you know what? I like you, Eastside. You know why I like you? Because you gonna stand with your team even though you know they ain't worth a dime. But anyway.
We say it.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, come on now.
Hey, man, the things are turning around, man. They took care of their business. They looked it all right in their preseason game. So,
okay,
hey, man,
okay,
they looked a lot better than some other team.
But it's preseason though. He said we gonna find out. But I will say this. I give you little credit. Y'all got a good cornerback. I will say that, Mr. Stingley is the truth. If he can stay healthy, you got a pretty good cornerback. I give you that. I give you that. But it's just is see, really, when you said your team is the Houston Texans, everybody in this chat started laughing. Like you really a Cowboy troller who comes on the thing. I see what it is. I see what it is. You're a Cowboy troller that came on here just I get it though. But I appreciate you calling in, man. But we don't put no value.
All right, brother.
Yeah, appreciate you calling in. We don't put no value on preseason games. That's all it matters.
Okay. All right.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Now, I will say this though. If you remember my last show, here's the thing that I wanted. I wanted to see some fire and some attitude. I saw it. That's what I mean. Remember the setup, y'all. Remember, they punked us out when they played us in the regular season. They essentially, in my view, punked us out in the practice. And we had one more chance. And I said, okay, how you going to come out this game? Somebody ought to be just a little bit ticked off. Somebody ought to have a little gumption. Somebody ought to have a little fire coming out of here. That's what I was looking for. I saw it. So I was pleased with the little fire. The running game was aggressive. They were moving guys off the ball. They were hitting people. That's what I wanted to see. Our defense was fired up. They were hitting people. That's all. I want to see a little get back. Okay. That's all I want to see. I could care less about the score. It's fine. That's all I want to see. I want to see some type of physicality. That's all I want to see. I saw it. I'm pleased. I'm pleased with that. So overall, for those that, like Eastside Harold was saying, it depends on how you looking at the games. I was not messed up about us losing the game. I was not messed up about, I was messed up about the pre-snap penalties. That's the only thing I was like, come on, y'all. This is getting beyond, this is ridiculous. The pre-snap penalties, that's all. That's the only thing that I could say, like, come on now. I appreciate you, Steven. Thanks for hanging with me, man. Thanks for hanging with me. Appreciate you. But other than that, y'all, I was good. I was good. Okay. I was good. All right. Now that's pretty much it for me on tonight. As Coach Marv had said earlier, We go to a different team. That's the Chargers. Now, we're having practice with them. Now, look who they have if they're practicing. Khalil Mack, Bosa on the other end, Derwin James in the back. Okay, uh, you know their defense is stacked. They spent the money, they got it. So for y'all upset about all getting beat on pass coverage, well, I mean, you about to go up against Khalil Mack a little bit. You know, hopefully our first team gets some work done. Um, let me say this, and y'all can say what you will. Let me say this, and I guess I'll close with this. Tyron Smith already hurt, man. Good God. I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, we know he's gonna get hurt. It's not a matter of if, it's when. And I mean, God, I mean, come on now. Already an ankle injury. Already an ankle injury. Already. I mean, come on, man. And it could very well be precaution, but God Almighty, man. I mean, can we get to at least week 2 before Tyron Smith, we start saying he's hurt? Can we at least get to week 2 before we say all that? I mean, good God. I need to work. That's why Tyler Smith is getting the work over there, because it's just, I hate to say it, but it's almost like Sean Lee. It's not if, it's when. Like, it's just a matter of time. So let's let Ball get to work. Let's get him ready. Tyler Smith may move outside, whatever. But let the guys go. Let the guys play. Let the guys get beat. Let the guys try to catch up with their speed playing left tackle. Let's let them get it, because it's bound. It seems like it's just a matter of time before they're gonna be in the game anyway. I mean, Smith is just, God bless the brother. I mean, he's Hall of Fame, left tackle. But come on, y'all. He is really he's really having a issue. Is no question about that. One last thing, because I've seen it in Cowboy land, and I'm gonna definitely close with this. Roquan Smith is out there. And Cowboy fans, and they've already, of course, have put him with us and all that kind of stuff. I would love to have him. Young, a headhunter, will knock you into next week. Definitely will make the linebacker room better. A lot of people want him. I do too. But y'all know who we're dealing with. Stephen Jones. And in order to probably get him, you're going to have to give up what the Dallas Cowboys prize the most. And that is probably some draft picks. Y'all already know not to get hype about that. Y'all know that. I don't know. Let's not get hype about this, because it's going to require, if you are to get it. I mean, the only reason why we got Andy Barber, because he came cheap, if you want to call it that. Roquan Smith is going to cost us draft picks, and y'all know how the Cowboys feel about draft picks. Y'all know that. So if I were y'all, don't even get hype about that. Yeah, it would be a good move. We'll be solid there, all that kind of stuff. But you know what they're going to try to do. They're going to draft and develop. They're gonna wait on the kid that we drafted from LSU for next year and go ahead and roll with that. They're not going to. I don't think they're gonna do it. Yeah, we got it, Kate. To be honest with you, to answer your question, Kate, I really believe that Stephen Jones is trying to be the salary cap champion of the world. I believe that he's gonna get a belt for it, like the WBC boxing championship belt or WWE championship belt. I really believe that he really feels like that is some type of award being given for being to have the biggest salary cap, that you can spend. Because he ain't spending no money. So I that's what I feel about it, Kate. All right. I'm done tonight. I hope y'all halfway enjoyed this little recap with me. Overall, again, it's not as bad as we think. It was pretty decent to me. Other than the 9 pre-snap penalties, I didn't like that at all. All right, tomorrow night, if you are up, I'm supposedly supposed to be with West Coast Cowboy again tomorrow night. He goes on at depending on what part of the country you're watching me from. Let me see. He's 2 hours ahead of me. I'm Memphis time. So if he's 8 o'clock in California, it's 10 o'clock here in Memphis. If you're in Texas, it'll be 10 o'clock as well. So it just all depends on what time you're watching it. But I have to believe I'll be on with him on tomorrow night. If you want to come hang with me, and you know how West Coast is, it's gonna be a pretty big crowd in, and we'll just try to go in there and see what add a little our 2 cents on to whatever it is that he wants to talk about. As far as I'm quite sure we'll be talking about this, the recap of the game and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully you guys can stay up with me and come hang with me. I'm gonna have to talk to West Coast. Good Lord, I'm a little older. I can't. Good God, man, I can't stay up like that. Coach Price, they do my own Lakers show. Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, I might do it on my own. It's coming up again, so I hear you, Coach. I'm thinking about it, but y'all come hang with me. I'm gonna talk to West Coast, man. This good God. I'm a little older. I can't. I look after 9 o'clock, man. It's hard. I ain't what I used to be. Man, I could stay up to 3, 4 in the morning, get up at 6, and be good for the rest of the day. I'm from the Army, so I'm not used to sleeping a whole lot of hours in the first place. So, that's just how I'm wired. But God Almighty, as I got older, it's like, man, look, when the sun go down, I'm like, oh, I mean, my God, I can't do it like I used to. So I'm about to talk to Wesco. He got me up. He the only guy I do it for, man. Like starting to do a podcast show at 10 o'clock at night, man. This ain't the late show. I mean, this, for me, this like prime time. I'm on I'm on with the Tonight Show and stuff. Like, come on now. But I do it for my brother. I appreciate West Coast, and I don't know who he's gonna have on there, with him. But last time it was me and Boss Cowboy and West Coast and Gary there. So anytime you add Boss Cowboy and West Coast together, two of the hottest in the game, and yeah, yeah, and then you add me in there, and, it's gonna be some fire now. Y'all know that. So tune in tomorrow night with West Coast tonight, and I believe I'll be there. But if not, just go support my brother anyway. Even if I'm not on, I think I know I'm on. But whoever's there, just let's support each other. Support Ball, support Law Nation, support Big Game James, support West Coast. J Tuck, all these guys who are doing an outstanding job. BJ Nix, All these guys, man. These guys are super. I'm just glad to add my 2 cents in on their platform. And I'll be bringing them here on mine. Um, Again, I think me, Boss, and Law did a show together with Coach Simmons, and that was flat out awesome. So I'm gonna bring these guys back, bring West on here, and uh, Coach Price. Coach Price got his own segment in my show. I call it the Coach's Corner. Coach Marv got his own section on here. So we got to bring him in and let him get a piece of the pie as well. So, hey, everybody's doing well. Let's support each other. Previous to that, I'm trying my best. I haven't done my Seeking Clear Thoughts podcast. For those that do not know, I do my religious podcast as well on Tuesdays. Most of you know I'm an assistant pastor here in Memphis. I do that podcast as well. It's based from my book that I wrote. I have a book that's out, Seeking Clear Thoughts, 60 Days of Reflections. And I pretty much built my podcast, at least that show, based off the book that I wrote. So if you're interested in that, I'll be on tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Memphis time, 7 o'clock Central. Tomorrow night, it may be 8 o'clock, it may be 7 o'clock, but I'm pretty busy tomorrow night, especially with West Coast. So y'all come hang with me. It is not on Facebook. It's pretty much on Podbean, Podbean. You have to put that app on your phone. It's a free app. I'm gonna type that in. I'm typing that in now. Podbean is right there. You have to download that to your phones or your computer, and then search out the Big Time Show / Seeking Clear Thoughts. That's all you have to do, and just follow the show as that. I'm seriously thinking about putting it on Facebook as well. I'm thinking, why not? I'm thinking about doing it. It just hit me right then. So tune in. It'll be on my personal page. It won't be on the Big Time Show Facebook page, nor will it be on the YouTube page as well. It'll be strictly on my personal Facebook page if I do that. So if you're not a friend of mine on my Facebook page, personal, why don't you um, friend me now? My name is Douglas Lewis Brooks Jr. Douglas Lewis Brooks Jr. Again, Douglas Lewis Brooks Jr. I guess I may need to type that in. I see you, Lee. It's on Podbean. It's right there on your screen now. All you got to do is download that to your phone, um, and search out the Big Time Show / Seeking Clear Thoughts. Follow the show, and I'll be there. But since I just made that commitment, I might go ahead and do Facebook as well, just my personal page. So you'll be able to see me do it here as well. But if not, you need to download that. That way you can hear. You won't see my face. It'll just be my voice on Podbean. I'm live there right now. Matter of fact, Lee, why don't you go ahead and try that? Just download Podbean on your phone. Search out the Big Time Show / Seeking Clear Thoughts. Go there now and do that now, and I'll wait on you. I'll be nice. I'll wait on you. Go ahead and join in now, just if you can. Let me know if you can do it, and I'll just sit here and wait till you get here so you can see how easy it is to do it. Cole said, do it on YouTube so you can get subs up. I don't feel like doing that, Coach. I don't feel like doing that one. I don't feel like doing that one right now. I'm trying to grow it. I understand what you're saying as far as trying to grow it and all that stuff, but I'm trying to keep my stuff as simple as possible because I got so much stuff that I have to do. Most of you know that some of you know that I'm in my doctoral program as well. That's taken up everything between the church and between my podcast and then school, trying to get my doctorate. I really have no time and hassle and all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate you though, Coach. Might try that as well. I don't. I got to find the time. But Lee, I don't see you over there. I don't know if you're doing it or not, but at least I hope that you would consider it again. Listen, thank you all for those of you rocking with me tonight. I'm not gonna hold you any longer. Let's go ahead and eat some fish. Let's do something together. Let's get on out of here. Y'all worked hard all day. It's 8:34. Most of y'all, by bedtime, like you doing it now. Okay. I'll wait on you. Okay, I'll see you. Doing it now. Download Podbean. Search out my show, The Big Time Show. Seeking Clear Thoughts. You probably see my symbol there. You'll see my symbol there. I'm waiting on you just to see it now, and then I'll go ahead and get you out of here. It's almost time for us to go. You already know what to do, everybody. Go ahead and put your hands together now. Let me see here. Y'all know how we leave the place. We leave clapping your hands. Come on. Y'all know how we groove our way out of here. Y'all know that. You know how I do it. We're going to do it together. I'm really trying to wait on my girl to see if she can pop on here on Podbean. I'm just trying to get her there. And if you get there, go ahead and follow the show. I just want to be fair and make sure that it's there if y'all don't mind. Get ready for the Chargers, y'all. Get ready for the Chargers. We're getting closer to game week 1. Tampa Bay coming to Dallas. The almighty Tom Brady is coming. And we got to go ahead and look. You can't have these type penalties against Brady. Let's be honest and realistic. You cannot do that against Brady. You will lose. You will lose. That's with Brady like that. It's no question about that, y'all. So we got to get it straight.
Marlon?
Lee, my partner just called. I got to be fair to him. Hold on a second. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. You know Big Price, man. Y'all cool?
Coach, you live right now, man.
Oh, yeah? Hey, man, that's my guy.
I know. You.
Hey, man, Coach Price, you on, man?
Coach Price, he's on. Yeah, he's in.
Oh, hey, man. Okay, hey, listen, man. Hey, that's a good dude, man. Man, that's my guy, man, from Norfolk State. So, Bruce, listen, man. I'm giving you a call. So, everybody's talking about the ball kid. First of all, I'll be honest with you. I don't think he's going to make the roster because I don't think you can carry more than 2 tackles, a right tackle. If you're going to carry a third tackle that can play on the right side, I think he's got to be a swing tackle that can play both. So if you look at it, if Ball can't play left tackle and right tackle, then I don't think he's going to be in your top 3 or 4.
Okay.
So, you might put him on the practice squad, but I don't believe that. I don't think he's going to be a game day guy.
Okay.
Right.
What you feel about his run blocking though?
Well,
I get the pass.
I thought the whole line blocked well, to be frank with you. But here's the deal, Brooks. So you got the kid that played well last year, the young kid. He's going to be your starter. They moved Collins out to make way for him. I don't think you can carry another exclusive right tackle on the roster. I mean, you probably only going to be able to carry 9 linemen, and I think you can have 3 tackles. You can have like a left tackle and a right tackle, and I think your third tackle definitely has to be somebody that can either play swing or you can carry him if he was an exclusive left tackle. But I just don't think you can carry another right tackle just to be a right tackle. Now, if he could play something else, if he could play tackle and if you can kick him down and he can play guard also, that's one of the questions I had. Like with McGovern, I wonder what else he can play.
The talk was with him, he can play both guard and center. That's what
but here's what I don't understand. If McGovern can play center, when Biadasz struggled last year, why didn't he get some reps there? I've never seen him play center.
Yeah, and done it since Penn State, to be honest with you.
Well, let's not be too rosy. If they thought that he could play center, there wouldn't have been. They were working out guys that had first and second round grades at center. I think the only reason they brought Tyler Biadasz back at all is because I think they didn't want to have two rookies, and I think he played well enough the year before last where he deserves another shot at it. But if McGovern could play center, I think they would have put him in and given him a shot last year. Now, I do know some of his scheme, maybe we're more of a zone blocking team where it's more positional. And maybe McGovern is more of a gap scheme guy, man-on-man blocking, and maybe he doesn't climb to the second level very well to cut off linebackers. I think it depends on what he's looking for, what the team is looking for. Part of me, I question our offensive line coaching because some of the pre-snap penalties are holding penalties. The number, I think not only were we the most penalized team in the league last year, Brooks, but we were also the most penalized offensive line. And at some point, if you got different players and you're still the most penalized team, you got different coaches, you're still the most penalized team. You changed offensive line coaches. You didn't change head coaches. You changed players. At some point, I heard you talking earlier, it's got to be culture.
Yeah.
It's got to be. I saw where I'm not sure who it was says, well, the players don't respect McCarthy. Well, I looked it up. When McCarthy was the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, the entire time he was there, they were always amongst the 4 or 5 least penalized teams in the league. So I can't put it on him. I do think the players lack respect for him, but I don't think that's because McCarthy is a bad coach. I think that's because he's weak. He's weak because Jerry won't empower any head coach to have any true authority.
There you go. I said that earlier.
Yeah, so if you think about it, all right, if McCarthy is in the middle of a game and he's dissatisfied with the play calling, what can he do?
Nothing. That's why I said I don't.
Yeah, I do think, the players don't respect him, but nobody will respect you if you ain't got any authority.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I got, bro.
All right, hey, Coach Price said he inboxed you his number, so I don't know if you done checked that out or not.
You know what? I apologize. I walked away from my phone. Let me look at it now. I was helping my daughter with her math homework, so let me. Price, I'll give you a call, man. I think I see where you messaged me your number. We need to connect, man. Yeah. I'm in South Carolina all the time.
So
you know that.
Yeah, Coach Price, me and Marlon played ball together for, oh my God, Jesus. Let's go all the way back to we were kids.
I think I was 13. Man, that's almost 40 years
40
ago.
Years. We've known each other a long time. So we
go back, man.
All right, appreciate you, Marlon.
Okay, appreciate it. Yes, sir.
All right. That's one of my best friends in the whole world, and appreciate them calling. On that note, I'm out. All right. That's enough. Now, everybody put your hands together. We'll see you on possibly tomorrow. Well, tomorrow night at some point. I'll be doing both of my shows. Well, one show, podcast, or Seeking Clear Thoughts podcast, and then I'll be on with West Coast tomorrow evening as well. And then, of course, I will see you guys on Saturday at 3:00 p.m. for the one and only, ladies and gentlemen, the informative, the dynamic, the incredible. This is, the Big Time Show.